Now, one of the toughest things to get right when making these videos is the audio. And so I normally struggle to get it right, but the more I edit, sometimes the more it falls apart. And I noticed that maybe, just maybe, I might not have the most discerning of headphones, and probably it was time to upgrade my headphones. Now that is just one side of the story. The other side is I use headphones for more than just video editing, listening to music every now and then, and also even watching other videos and so on. So I do use headphones for quite a long time, and for me, comfort, sound quality, and well-built headphones that are gonna last long are top on the list of the features that I'd actually look for in a pair of headphones. So now, if you've watched my other videos in the past, you might have seen the headphone that I have been using, and it's this unit from Oneodio, a company called Oneodio. It's called the Studio Pros, you know. And truth be told, these have served me quite well over the past few years. And so now that I have acquired a new pair, these beyerdynamic DT900 Pro X, I thought maybe I should make a comparison video from a value standpoint. Okay guys, so what do we get in here in the box? First, just taking a tour around the box, we see that it's quite good quality carton. DT900 Pro X branding, it says enjoy over here, and basically a lot of technical details on the back. On the side it says create the amazing, yeah, because these are geared towards creators. And so on splitting this tape right around the box, we get it open, and right there we have the headphone. And by the way, it's interesting that for this pair, after traveling all those thousands of miles from the States, still are in very good condition. Though the box is not that much padded, I believe that they would have done better. So the first thing that hits you once you touch the headphones is the build quality, but we'll get to that later. There's a bunch of other documentation inside the box, a lot of marketing gibberish, create the amazing, trusted sound, home of creators, Pro X. Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's set this to the side for now. There's another envelope in the box with yet some more documentation, a guide here which gives you a lot of technical specifications. And that said, let us just pause right here to take a look at what the DT900 Pro X entails. And you can see here star ratings have been used to compare this 900 Pro X with the other beyerdynamic headphones. The only thing that this is not recommended for is actually recording, but you can see that Beyerdynamics recommends that this be used for mixing, mastering, and a bunch of stars are given here for mobility, streaming, wearing comfort, and what have you. So you can see here that these are open backs. That means that the ear cups have some holes that will allow sound to pass in and out of the headphones, and that just enhances the sound stage, makes it feel a bit more wide. Now the impedance rating here is 48 ohms, which means that these headphones are not difficult to drive, especially read together with a sensitivity rating of 100 dB. So you don't really need a dedicated amplifier to drive these headphones. You can actually just plug them into most common audio equipment. There's some more pamphlets that you get over here, some instructions, some marketing information, and what have you. In fact, we even have some Pro X stickers, you know. I think I'll find somewhere to place these. Then on opening this other chamber of the box, you can see that the 900 Pro X has actually come with a carrying pouch. And you'll be happy to see that there are two cables actually included. There's a longer one and a shorter one. I think I'll use this short one more because I'll just be plugging it straight into my PC on the desk. And you can see that the cables have a 6.3mm jack on one end and a mini XLR on the other end. The 6.5 jack is actually an adapter, as you can see, that you can screw out, and that leaves you with a 3.5mm jack if that is what you'd prefer to use, like into a smartphone, a laptop, and so on. Now something interesting that I noted over here is just on comparing this cable that came with the DT900 Pro X, you can see that the DT900 Pro X cable is actually more sturdy and it's really quite thicker than the Oneodio cable, you know. And by the way, it's not like the Oneodio cable was poor quality. This just speaks to the fact that the DT900 Pro X cable is just on the next level, you know. So grabbing the headphone itself here, really it screams quality. The ear pad is well padded and quite soft, especially the velvety material that, you know, covers it. And by the way, these ear pads are actually removable. After some years, if they do wear off, you could actually just get them off and replace them, and that's quite good. And same goes with the headband. It's made out of some nice material, quite good quality, soft. And I can feel that the extension mechanism is actually quite nice. The yoke is made out of metal, and all around really this headphone is quite well built. Really just picking it up and comparing it to the Oneodio headphone that I've been using, you'll just feel the massive difference, especially the plasticky nature. Just things rattle around with the Oneodio. Nothing moves about, even on shaking the DT900 Pro X. Everything is well constructed, very solid, that give a straight A for the build quality. This is built to last, believe it or not. That's why I keep on seeing guys with DT770s and 990s that have been around for like 10 years, 15 years, and they're just going strong. Just check this out. This is what happened to the ear cups of my Oneodio headphones. After some time, the leather started wearing out, and so it keeps on shedding this black stuff that even my wife says that now my ears are full of them, so that's why I don't listen to instructions. Anyway, now all the time I pick up these Oneodio headphones, I have to get like a piece of cloth to clean up the surface because of all this black stuff that comes out, you know. But you can see that the velvet material that makes up the ear cups of the DT900s is really not going to be shedding out anything anytime soon. And this tab over here is what you'll be using to pull off the padding of the headband if you would want to replace it. The ear cups here are made of very nice quality plastic, not the rattly type. And the fenestrations, as you can see, look nice. This is an open back design. Now, in as far as comfort is concerned, and I'd say that my head is kind of like on the upper end of medium, if that is like a size, you know. I noticed that straight out of the box, the clamping force on the DT900s is actually quite a lot compared to the Oneodios. And I believe that is probably because I've been using the Oneodios for very long, so like they have adopted to my head. But that said, the padding on the ear cups is actually still quite soft and very, very comfortable. And just to preempt, after listening to these headphones for like more than an hour, I could really feel no fatigue. So the moment I played my first track on this beyerdynamics, I already noted a huge difference. And you know, I'm not gonna be going into the audiophile stuff, you know, the timbre, how various instruments are placed on the sound stage and so on. I'm not an audiophile. I'm just going to be sharing with you guys the raw experience from just plugging it in and comparing it with my Oneodio headphones that I have been rocking for this past few years. So there are two areas that I noted a huge difference. First is clarity, and the second is what I think audiophiles would probably call soundstage, you know. In as far as clarity is concerned, I played the same tracks on both these headphones, and I noticed that for some reason, and this is not what I actually expected, the beyerdynamic headphones were actually a bit louder. And these beyerdynamics were not louder in the sense of being overwhelming, but rather everything was clear and crisp, you know. I could hear stuff that was kind of actually muffled on this other pair of headphones, which make them sound a bit low. But the feeling I got is that at the same level of volume on the computer, these more expensive cans actually come out much more lively than the cheaper Oneodio headphone. I don't know whether the way they fit on my head also influences the sound as compared to the Oneodios, but for this beyerdynamics, in as much as the feeling was a bit different, like the clamping force was much more firm compared to the Oneodios, still I got the feeling that the headphones kinda like just disappear with time and you just get immersed in the music somehow, or rather the music is instilled somewhere inside your head in a way that is much more different than what the Oneodios present. The other point is because these headphones I think are tuned for mixing and mastering, editing audio. They are basically more or less flat. They are not very bass heavy. But in as much as I'm not like a super deep audio nerd and so on, I could actually decipher the clearer bass compared to the other headphones, especially when listening to music. And because I actually did listen to my own videos on these headphones, these beyerdynamics brought out a lot of issues that I could not really hear with the cheaper headphones. I noted the value of actually clearer headphones that can separate my voice from the background music. And I believe that with these, I can more easily pick out some of those small issues at some frequencies that don't sound as good. And next, another big difference that I noticed is actually the sound stage. With the sound quality, these beyerdynamics are sort of like wider and more open compared to the Oneodios. And you could say that that is attributable to the open back design of the 900 Pro Xs here. But still, I really like how you feel like everything is just presented to you. It's not like, you are covered in a blanket and listening to something inside a blanket. But rather, this is actually kind of like an open environmental sound, if that is a term. I don't know. So basically, I don't think you really need to be an audiophile to notice the big difference in sound quality between these beyerdynamics and the Oneodio pair. So finally, is this value for money? I think I'd answer that question from this perspective. First, depends on what you're gonna be using these headphones for. Another pair of headphones that I had considered over this beyerdynamics was the Sony 1000X Mark IVs. And they're basically the same cost. But the main reason I picked these DT900 Pro Xs over those 1000XM4s were the fact that these are actually really tuned for mixing and mastering music, and that is what I'll be using them majorly for. But if you're just like a casual listener who just wants to listen to music with very nice active noise cancelling for your travels and so on, I'd probably suggest that you check out the 1000XM4s. But in my circumstance, I believe these were a better pick. So if people can spend the equivalent amount of money on the 1000XM4s, then it means that this actually makes sense in as far as value is concerned, because for what they are designed to do, and that's basically noise cancellation and casual listening, they do well, they excel, and that's why they are priced at that price point. You gotta pay to play, right? But these, for what they are designed to do, they also do very well, and so you have to pay the premium to get them. Does it mean that I would not recommend anyone get these cheap kind of headphones? I've actually personally had them for like 2 years and more. They've not stopped playing. They've been doing what they were meant to do. So it's only that for the DT900 Pro Xs, you can be sure in the next 10 years, they'll probably be running strong. But these 2 years maximum, you'll have to retire them. And so that is the conclusion of the matter. I believe that for headphones, literally, the more you pay, the more value you get. Though I'm sure definitely the law of diminishing returns applies even over here. It's not like if you paid $1,000 for headphones, you're gonna be getting 5 times better headphones than these. Just doesn't work that way. That is it for this video, guys. If you want to check this out, there's a link down here in the description. If you've liked this video, express yourself using the like button down below. And if you're not subscribed, kindly feel free to join the family. Thanks for watching, and as always, no pressure.